Hello and welcome. This video will cover post-upgrade activities to perform after upgrading your SIM devices. First, if you have already upgraded to 11 and have your clustering configuration set as intended, write out the cluster settings after an upgrade by going to the ESM Properties, Clustering, Write. If the write button is disabled, you can re-enable it by making a false edit to the data bus data port value and then changing it back like that. Then click the Write button. This will bring up a warning pop-up. Please read the warning and make sure that writing out cluster settings will not result in an undesired change to your clustering configuration. For those upgrading from version 10, or for those making a change to their clustering configuration post-upgrade, please review your cluster configurations before writing out the settings. After clicking Yes, a few processes will kick off in the background, and then we should get the message that the write was successful. This process should not take more than a few seconds. There we are. Next, we are going to rekey each device. My lab environment only has one keyable device, the ACE. To rekey a device, open the device's properties, then go to Key Management. Then select Key Device. Now we are going to set the root password for the device. Note that we do not have to have the device's old root password to rekey the device. We need only to set the new root password. I've typed in a password. Now I'll click Next. And now the rekey will begin. This process can take a few minutes to complete. And there we are. Device successfully keyed. Repeat the same process for each SIM device in your environment. After rekeying each device, we'll want to write out settings and rollout policy for receivers, ACEs, ADMs, and DEMs. My lab environment only has a receiver and an ACE, but if you need more information on ADMs and DEMs, you can find that in the product guides on docs.mcafee.com. To write out data source settings, open the receiver's properties, then go to Data Sources. Next, click the Write button. If the Write button is not enabled, you can re-enable it by making a false edit somewhere on the screen, such as unchecking a box and checking it back off. Now we'll click Write. Once the data source write is complete, you will be prompted to roll out policy. Check the rollout policy to all devices now box in the bottom left here, then click OK. And this will start the policy rollout. This process may take a few minutes to complete. For ACEs, we'll need to write out the correlation managers, then roll out policy. To do that, we'll open up the ACE properties, then go to Correlation Management, and then click Write. If the Write button is disabled, you can re-enable it by making a false edit to somewhere on the screen, such as disabling, re-enabling a correlation manager. Then we click Write. Once the correlation managers have been written out, you will be prompted to roll out policy. Check the Rollout Policy to All Devices Now box in the bottom left, and click OK. This will begin rolling out policy to all of the correlation managers. This process may take a few minutes to complete. Finally, we're going to check the status, version, and build stamp of each SIM device. Open up the properties of a device and review the version and the build stamp, as well as the status message to make sure it says OK. And repeat the same for the rest of your SIM devices. If a device is not showing the correct version, or if there are errors in the status message, you may need to wait a few minutes before everything starts back up properly. If the errors persist, feel free to give us a call and we can take a look. This concludes the video on post-upgrade activities for the SIM. Thank you for watching.